You say we have a new plan. Do we really have a new plan? It's the pattern of all these summits. They come out with some sort of statement. The markets like it. They're reassured. The markets go up. And a day or so later, the markets come down again because they realize the plan has no substance. Now, the story we got last week was that Angela Merkel had given way, that she'd finally agreed under great pressure to allow the European stability mechanism to pick up the issue of banks and recapitalize banks directly, and that was going to be a solution to all our problems. Well, what are we finding now? We're finding that the Bundestag will take a point of view. We're finding the German Constitutional Court will maybe take a point of view, perhaps indeed with each bailout. We're finding that the Netherlands and Finland are saying, well, they're not entirely happy with the deal as it stands. Even if the deal as it stands went through, it isn't clear that there is sufficient funding there to do the job, or that bailing out the banks would solve the problem of the euro. In fact, it wouldn't. Yet again, we have a solution that is merely a temporary palliative, and also which doesn't stand up to rigorous investigation. I think you've put your finger on actually the real paradox. There are economic solutions that might work, but they wouldn't be acceptable politically. So the way forward is actually blocked by politics. Eventually, member states and citizens of member states are simply not going to accept all these new powers given to the EU, which, as you rightly point out, effectively means given to Germany. And this is the problem which Europe faces. And we're asking the wrong question, because the question we're asking is, how do we save the euro? That's not the right question. The question today is, given the problems we face, is it a smart move to save the euro? Because in my view, we would be much better to be talking about how we dismantle the euro. The euro is the problem. The euro is a bankruptcy machine. No amount of bailing out and fiddling at the edges is solving the problem. We've got to address the heart of the problem, and that is that the euro simply doesn't work. We've virtually given up the pretense of democracy in Europe. We've imposed prime ministers on Greece and on Italy who were never elected by the people, and Europe goes on and makes its decisions in complete disregard. Either it won't have a referendum, or it won't ask the people, or if it does ask the people and it gets the wrong answer, it just tells them to go away and vote again. So we've abandoned democracy and freedom in the interests of protecting the euro. And that's why I say the costs of protecting the euro, the costs in money terms, the costs in debt, the costs in suffering and in Greece real hunger, those costs, and the costs in democratic control and freedom and liberty, all these things are being sacrificed to save the euro, but it isn't going to work, and the euro can't be saved. I believe that we will. I think the pressure is building up on our coalition government to have a referendum. Our Prime Minister has started hinting, very vague, very indefinite, very much in the future, but he's started to accept that a referendum may be necessary. Meantime, lots of other voices in the media, in politics, are saying we need it soon, and it needs to be an in-out referendum, not on some vague question about renegotiated terms. The people want a chance to say, do they want to be in this thing or not? And I promise you, they're going to say they don't. I would expect that will be the basis of our campaign, to say that all the three old parties, they may mutter on and give you promises about referendums, but they're not serious about it. The serious vote is this. You can vote for the old parties, which is voting for the status quo, or you can vote for UKIP, which is a vote to get out and put an end to the nonsense. And I think on that basis, I feel very confident that UKIP will come first in the 2014 Euro election. That is assuming that there is a 2014 Euro election, because events may move faster.